Right? So it is possible for you to get a skill without going the traditional route and actually start making money out of that. And that brings us to step number 1, identifying the skill and or knowledge that somebody would be willing to pay for. And in fact, I think I should, divide that into 2, because there might be 2 different people here. There might be people who do not have a skill completely. They are stranded, they are in a tough position, and they need to make money now, right? So before you actually try and locate a skill or knowledge that somebody would be willing to pay for, try and figure out what you are good at. And is what you're good at good enough for somebody to pay some good money for? So, for example, I mentioned that I do play the piano, for example, right? I can use that, play in some events, make a little bit of money to acquire maybe that 10,000 Rand, that 20,000 Rand that I need, basically start the business that I really want to start, whatever the case may be, right? I can use what I already have to make the little money that I want to actually build the business that I want to build, to acquire the things and resources that I want to acquire. So before actually locating a skill that somebody else would be willing to pay for, look for a skill that you are currently good at. What are you currently good at? Locate that and ask yourself the question, is this something that somebody would be willing to pay for? Now, initially, obviously, it's not going to be the money that you probably require as a start. You're probably looking for 1 million. You're probably looking for 500,000. You need to look at your resources. What resources do you currently have now that will help you get to step B or step 2, whatever the case may be? You need to hold the bull by the horns, right? You need to hold the snake by the head, right? Make sure it doesn't bite you, instead of holding it by the tail and basically stepping back and running backward all the time, hoping that it does not turn back and bite you, right? So you need to hold the bull by the horns by identifying what you are good at first before you identify a skill that somebody else would be willing to pay for. You need to also look at teaching that particular skill. You need to look at coaching and solving a problem with that skill or knowledge. So a lot of people overlook this part of self-introspection, looking at what they have. They want a particular thing and they heard that, being a nurse is going to make you some money. Being a teacher is going to make you some money. Or if you become a teacher, for sure, you're going to get a job. I'm sure you've heard arguments like that, right? It separates you from the normal people and it puts you in a position where you become different because you are self-introspective. You might end up doing something that you really like because you self-introspected first